What's up, everybody? How's it going? So I wasn't planning on streaming tonight, and then this stuff just kind of came up. So as you know, her texts and stuff can be kind of exhausting. We will be talking about Laura Owens and Michael Marraccini, and some stuff that's come to light today in a Reddit post, and it was submitted by. Hold on, it was requested that I say the user's actual name. I hump, you hump, we hump. Thank you for that. So that user did a lot of work, a lot of good work last night, or like over several days, I think, and they have a 2-part post here that gives a lot of information. I'm gonna go through some of this stuff and then give some commentary on why I believe, based on this information, that she lied about being an inpatient psych. So we'll get into that, but also just to start, it appears that she has had her story removed by Chicken Soup for the Soul, at least on their, web platforms. Let me see. Hang on. Okay. So this came up today. It appears Chicken Soup Soul has removed both Laura's and Napkin Lady's prior contributions from the latest digital version of their 30th anniversary edition book. Her interview with Amy Newark has also seemingly disappeared. My bad, guys. Your turn at Tedx. Okay. So that's a good thing. But Tedx has been notoriously hard to get in touch with. I have not personally tried. I know Megan, rallied with that, and I think that she was having a really hard time getting in touch with them, or they just didn't really respond. You know what I mean? People love Bruce from Oregon. Yeah, I love Bruce from Oregon. Where is he? He was just here. All right. Next Medium article, when chicken soup is ready. Oh, God. Okay. Right. One second. Okay, so somebody says Mrs. Mold found that Napkin Lady's chapter is still in the book and only Laura's was removed. Okay, so you guys can confirm by going and looking at it, I think, but I don't have that, unfortunately, and I don't want to buy it, because why would I want to buy something just to make sure a story's not in there? You know what I mean? So So recently we went over some of the text between her and Greg, the alleged victim number 2. So we have victim 0, who we're not going to talk about. He wishes to remain anonymous, and I respect that, even though his name was leaked. I'm not going to go there. Then we have victim 1, Mike Marraccini, who we're going to talk about tonight. Victim 2, Greg Gillespie, who we talked about the other night, and we saw text messages, over 70 pages of text messages that were included in a police report. And then, of course, Clayton, victim number 3. Those are the ones that we know of at this time. So, hey, Big Tiff, what's up? All right. How do I know if this is the right tab? Yeah, there we go. So, as I said, this is posted by user I hump, you hump, we hump. And I hope that they're happy that I had to read that out loud twice so far. But I did not, this is not my labor, this is their work. I did ask for permission to go over this first, because I was like, I don't really want to, I don't want people to think that I did all this work, because it's definitely not my work. I want them to get credit. So credit to Hump Person. And let's get into it. All right, I don't need to be in that. Hopefully that's big enough for you guys to read. If it's not, let me know and I'll zoom in one more time, okay? Let me pull this up real quick. Okay. All right. So these were declarations in support of her request for a restraining order against Mike. Now, Mike, as I'm pretty sure all of you know, pretty much everybody watching this is going to know, Mike is somebody who was falsely accused by Laura of domestic violence, sexual abuse, that kind of thing. And then she went on to do a TEDx talk about it. She went on to write an entry in Chicken Soup for the Soul about it. She did podcasts, like various podcasts. And it's just so sad that she like took advantage of this person, like this really nice, kind person who tried to be there for her for so long, despite her emotional terrorism. And she was mad that he moved on with his life. So she seems to have made up a story and ran with it. And I feel really bad for the guy. He's a nice dude. Like I said, before I talked to him on June 10th. I met him on June 10th. And then, outside of that, I've never seen him or anything like that. But he does seem like a very nice guy. He introduced himself to me and he was very sweet. So, and his wife is cool. So they were just sitting right behind me. So it's not like they went out of their way or anything like that. Like, I don't want anyone to think that there's like that I know them or anything like that. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, I know them, but I don't know them. I would say that they seem like very nice people though. Oh, thank you, Big Tip. I always forget to do that. Please like the stream if you can. It always helps me out. Okay. Guys, this might not be big enough. Let me zoom in one more time for you guys, because I don't know if you can see that very well. That seems a little better. Okay. So these are all public record and available via FOIA requests. So these are not private documents. These are not like something that she can, like claim and get people in trouble for. It's not harassment. It's sharing public information and discussing that public information. This is for purpose of, discussion only. We are not using it to harass her. I do not want her to watch this. I do not want her to hear about it. I just want her to move on with her life. And you know what? I have no interest in upsetting her. And I'm just going to say that because, she likes to play the little victim card. All right. So this post discusses abortion and suicide. As most of you who know Mike's story knows that she, brought those things up. Okay. So let's go ahead and read the declarations. Give me one sec. Okay. I'm just going to pull up all of them right now. Give me one sec. So I have not redacted these guys. Let me give you a quick scan and make sure there's no like phone numbers or anything in here. Okay. Like I said, I wasn't planning on streaming tonight, so I didn't have time to like go out of my way to redact stuff. Even though it is public information, I try not to, you know what I mean, share that stuff. Okay. Okay. Go to here, go to here. I think this stuff was all actually redacted by the user who did it in the first place. They have the deposition in here, which I'm not going to read all that tonight because it's 142 pages. It is something that we have seen before, but I will talk about that some more in the context of all this other stuff. We just get into that maybe tomorrow, but probably Wednesday. There we go. Okay. Declarations 5 and 6. Laura claims Mike began physically abusing her in June 2016, just 3 months after meeting. However, in her Desasme interview, I don't actually know how to say that, guys. Desasme interview, GD claims the physical abuse didn't begin until their trip to Iceland, December 2016. Nowhere in her declaration does she mention being abused while being pregnant, nor does she mention being abused while having ovarian cancer. Declaration 7 to 8. Laura claims it was Mike's decision for her to get an abortion. However, her text messages to him claim ownership of the decision, stating, "I just don't want to be making a massive mistake. I was just thinking last night that my decision to terminate is really just because it wouldn't be convenient to have a kid, and that's very selfish of me to end a life because I don't want the responsibility. I need to come to terms with that." Okay. Let's take a look at this real quick. Okay, so let me make sure you guys can read that. I'm going to zoom in a little more. Actually, I don't know if you can. Hang on. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. If not, that sucks because it won't zoom in anymore. And we will get into like talking. The main reason I wanted to talk about this tonight is because I believe that some of this stuff is very sketchy in regards to like inpatient psych treatment and her claims that she was like seen in inpatient psych. I don't believe that, and you'll see why. But okay. Number 5. In or around late May or early June 2016, I was asleep when I was suddenly struck in the face by Mr. Marraccini. Who punches someone in the face while they're sleeping? I don't believe that at all. So this is the beginning of his alleged abuse, which we know is fictitious. He randomly punches her in the face or hits her in the face while she's sleeping. I don't think so. I don't know exactly how he hit me. I think either his elbow or fist hit me near my eye. I can't say for sure, but I believe he may have been asleep. Okay, so she's admitting he may have been asleep. I don't believe this happened at all, but at least she's saying like it wasn't for sure like intentional. You know what I mean? Like the bar is low for Laura, so this is, you know, I can't say for sure, but I believe he may have been asleep and involuntarily hit me somehow. I had a black eye for a day or two after this. One of his friends told me that one of his ex-girlfriends also woke up with a black eye because Mr. Marraccini accidentally hit her while he was asleep. Okay, what? So if his friend did say that, it probably wasn't in the context of like Mike hits people, you know what I mean? It was probably like he was just saying like, oh, Mike, you know, like he moves around in his sleep, just like somebody might say like, oh, somebody snores, somebody talks in their sleep, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people jerk around, like it does happen. Not a lot of people, but some people jerk around. I used to have this problem where when I was falling asleep, my like arms and legs would all of a sudden go, you know what I mean? Like, and it had something to do with like overexertion and stuff like that. This was when I was much younger, but yeah. So number 6, in June 2016, Mr. Marraccini and I were out for a walk. While we were walking along the water, he grabbed me by my jacket and pushed me towards the water, acting like he was going to throw me in. I had previously told Mr. Marraccini that I don't know how to swim. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that. Like you're like a very privileged rich girl growing up. Your parents didn't get you swim lessons. Like I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible, but honestly, I don't believe it. Oh, there we go. We got to zoom in. So your parents are doing horse riding lessons for you, but not swimming lessons. I find that hard to believe. Later during the walk, we were passing by a shrub when Mr. Marraccini used one of his hands to shove me into it. He did these things as jokes, but they felt somewhat aggressive. Okay. Okay. So here is the Dasasmi interview that they were referring to. So Moyle, who I'm assuming is the host, says, so as this relationship progresses and you're dating and you're trying to maintain a normalcy, you try to go through this and it escalates. Laura says, Moyle, where did it begin to look like this was really something that you needed to stop? What happened to get you to that point? Share that with us if you would. Laura says, yeah, absolutely. So up until the point that we just finished talking about just before Iceland, December 2016, it had just been emotional abuse. Definitely some conflicting stories there, huh? All right. Cat Lady Valerine says, I once fell into a bush while drunk. It was so hard to get out of. Branches everywhere, dude. France, thank you for the 5 gifts, dude. I appreciate you. And thanks to everybody who's a channel member. I really appreciate that support. So you guys are awesome. Okay. Declaration 10. JD claims Mike pressured her to make an appointment at Planned Parenthood, and that when she didn't do it fast enough, he made it for her. However, text messages show JD made the appointment herself, without pressure from Mike. Declaration 11. Laura claims 1, she grieved for the child. And 2, Mike would get angry and lose his temper when she would discuss her post-abortion emotions. However, 1, Laura claimed in text that she was pregnant with twins without ever providing Mike a sonogram. And point 2 is discussed below. It says, Declaration 11 and 12. As stated above, Laura claimed Mike would get angry and lose his temper when she would discuss her post-abortion emotions. The text provided show no such thing in that Mike was, in fact, supportive of her feelings, never implying at any point he would have said anything to get Laura to abort. Mike also requests they have protected sex from here on out, but Laura doesn't want that. She states, I like how it's feeling now as well. I've been craving that. I feel very connected to you having sex that way, and I appreciate that right now. Mike responds, of course it does, but it's not smart to keep doing. Yeah, that's a baby trap if I've ever heard one. A baby trap without the actual pregnancy. All right. Declaration 13. Laura claims Mike demeaned her due to her sadness after the abortion, constantly calling her worthless and ugly. However, there are 0 instances of Mike calling her worthless or ugly or depressed in almost 2,500 pages of text messages spanning over 1.5 years. God damn, guys. Sorry, my phone's blowing up. In fact, the only one to call JD worthless is herself on 3 separate occasions. I believe that. That's like a common tactic. It's for somebody to... Oh, no, sorry. Got it. Okay. So it's like a common tactic for somebody to be like, oh my God, I'm so worthless or whatever. To make the person who like is done with your shit turn around and be like, no, you're not worthless. Like, that's not what I said. I didn't mean that. You know, like it's a manipulation. So let's see. Sorry, I have to keep switching tabs, guys. All right. In June 2016, I'll do this here. There we go. In June 2016, I found out that I was pregnant and felt very conflicted about whether to have the baby or terminate the pregnancy. And these are Laura's declarations. I was diagnosed with PCOS in 2010 or 2011, which can cause infertility. I was afraid I might never be able to get pregnant again, but also did not necessarily feel ready to have a baby. I told Mr. Marraccini about the pregnancy and shared my feelings about terminating versus having the baby. Initially, he was supportive about giving me some time to think about the decision, but said he thought it would be best if I had an abortion. And that's totally fine. Like, a guy's not the devil for saying he thinks that you shouldn't have a baby together. He thinks an abortion is the responsible thing. Like, it doesn't even necessarily mean you're going to have an abortion. It's okay to say that, though. It's okay to voice his opinion. Like, that's not a bad thing. A day or 2 after I told him, Mr. Marraccini called me while on a trip with his friend and said that he decided an abortion was the best option for us. When he came back from his trip, he told me that if I had the baby, he would never want to meet the baby or be a part of his or her life. Well, that's a pattern, isn't it? Probably because of you and the way you're handling it. And that he would hate me for going through with the pregnancy. Okay. He said that if I had the abortion, it would prove to him that I was the type of girl he wanted to be with, and would show him how much I valued our relationship. Honey, no. This sounds like something she would write in her dating contracts. No, there's no way. I don't believe for a second that man said anything resembling that. Because this sounds like exactly the kind of manipulation she does. She pulls these strings to try to get men to date her, like in exchange for an abortion. That's what she thinks. It's a little warped. If she has the abortion, they might want to date her. So she's projecting right here. This is a lot of projection. He said he wanted a future together and could see us having kids down the road, but that he wasn't ready to be a father yet. He promised to be there and support me after the abortion. Okay. And here we have some text. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out... Yeah, okay. So this is Laura in the gray, I think, and Mike is in the blue. Hold on. I'm not ready to do this, so it's a good thing I have another 10 days. This is so insanely hard for me, and I don't think you can imagine how it is to be in my place right now. Okay, so that's definitely not Mike. That's definitely Laura. Laura said that. Mike says, I said it sounds good because there really is nothing to say. If you don't want me to get frustrated, then stop sending ridiculous texts or questioning my integrity when I see you. And we've seen how she operates, so that's a fair criticism. You know, like, He can get frustrated. It's like valid for him to get frustrated. It makes sense that he would be frustrated. I don't understand like why anyone could see this man's like comments and stuff like that, and they're like barely mean. You know what I mean? Like none of them are mean. Actually, they're not even mean. They're just not overwhelmingly nice. And I don't understand how anybody can like know the context of this situation and see what this man says and how he behaved based on like what's in publicly available documents, and then think that that man was abusive. And I don't think anyone actually does, except for her and maybe her lawyer, who's, I'm not sure if he's an idiot or not. He might just be a liar. Hopefully, well, you know what? Both suck. So, yeah, okay. She says, I'm sorry I flip-flop. I just don't want to be making a massive mistake. I was just thinking last night that my decision to terminate is really just because it wouldn't be convenient to have a kid, and that it's very selfish of me to end a life because I don't want the responsibility. I need to come to terms with that. And there it is, right what they said it was. My decision to terminate. My decision to terminate. God. And then she says, was thinking about how nice of a time we ended up having last night when you came over. Is that something you would say to someone who's beating your ass? I don't think so. I finally believe you that you're not leaving me. Oh my God, that's needy. And we're in this for the long haul. And so, you know, if we are too early by a week and we have to come back, which I still think is a possibility, I promise you I won't flip-flop. I feel like that promise was broken pretty quickly. I'm crazy about you and can't wait for this to be over so we can have great times together. I know without a doubt in my mind we are doing the right thing today. Thank you for all your patience with me and believing in me. I've completely fallen in love with you and we'll see you later. Whew. Yikes. So you guys can see kind of like, and like I said, I don't diagnose, but people with certain personality type issues who have instability in relationships and stuff like that can kind of get themselves into this situation where they're like freaking out maybe over nothing, or maybe they're just like, they're so used to instability, like they just like blow things up sometimes. If they don't get exactly what they want from the person, if they don't hear exactly what they want to hear, like they might blow up like that. You know what I mean? So I feel like he was probably on the receiving end of a lot of that, and that sucks. Okay. Mr. Marraccini pressured me to make an appointment at Planned Parenthood for the abortion. When I didn't do it fast enough, he scheduled it for me. Because I wanted to be with him and thought we could have a future together. Can you shut the fuck up about that? Like, if somebody doesn't want to be with you, that doesn't need to make it into a court document. Like, nobody needs to know that. Because I wanted to be with him and thought we could have a future together. And since I didn't want to bring a child into the world without a father, I decided to go through with the abortion. In July 2016, I terminated my pregnancy. Okay. So, didn't want to bring a child into the world without a father, yet she had no problem, well, supposedly in the early stages of the thing with Clayton, she had no problem just having the babies. Like, so she claims that she was taking to court over parental stuff, but like she knew he didn't want to be involved if she had their like fictitious babies. And she was at that point, like allegedly going to just have the babies. So which one is it, Laura? All right. Here, we're back to the iMessages. She says, did you talk to Planned Parenthood? How is this a thing? And why does it sound so good? I don't know what that is, but okay. It's like some kind of snack or something, I think. Deep fried. I can't. Deep fried. Is this like deep fried gummy bear? That's disgusting. Is that what that says? Guys, help. Teresa, hey, what's up? Teresa says her threshold for needing to call the police and FBI are so low, yet beatings and choking, not so much. Yeah, exactly. It's bullshit. Let me see if I can zoom in on that so you guys can see it. I think it says deep fried gummy bears. It's fucking weird. All right, let me see if I can get to it. There it is, right there. Deep fried something or other. Right there. Deep fried. No, I didn't say gummy bear. I'm making that up. Deep fried something. I don't know. It's not really that important. I'm nosy. So All right. Okay. Mike says, I have not. Right after I got off the phone with you, I had to take some calls. I have a call in a few, though. Did you call your doctor? She says, I'll meet you, your friends and family at some point. He asks if she has a second to talk. Laura says, I read back your text since last Friday. Yes, I can see where you took my insecurity as questioning your integrity, and that wasn't my intention. So she's already flip-flopped like she said she wasn't going to. How long did that take? Not very long. I'm genuinely sorry. I've been on top of you and questioning you like we are on opposite teams. I'm your teammate and your number one fan. And I see but I see that I haven't shown that. I love you for your character, your integrity, your kindness, and how comfortable and special you make me feel. I'm sitting here thinking of all the fun things we will do together and great things we will accomplish together, and it makes me feel very happy. I will call Planned Parenthood in the morning and set something up for Tuesday. You are a wonderful man who I am so excited to work towards having a family with in the future, and I want to focus on that. Is that something you would really say to someone who's abusing you? I don't think so. Okay. Here she says, I just called Planned Parenthood, overwhelming and sad. I'll try to call Planned Parenthood. I'll need to call them back if we're going to move it. Mike responds, hey, don't call and cancel if you haven't made another appointment yet. Do you want me to call Planned Parenthood in Walnut Creek? Why are you feeling insecure? You're doing the right thing. She says, don't you think Walnut Creek is far, though, if I might feel that sick after the procedure? Mike says 30-minute drive. Laura says, I could go without you, too. That works. So that's interesting because if they were planning on him taking her or whatever, and like she's saying, I can go without you, that's probably because she can get away with faking more stuff if he's not there. So, all right. Here we're back to the declaration. In the days following my abortion, I felt sad and started to feel immense guilt. I felt selfish for choosing my relationship with Mr. Marraccini over the baby. I grieved for the child that would never be and started to feel depressed. Interesting. Doesn't seem like you grieved for your twin babies that popped out, as weird looking sacs that don't actually look like fetal sacs. Well, I mean, I guess they might, but more people have said they look like different types of things. So you didn't grieve for the twins at all. So why? What? Okay. On several occasions when I tried to talk with Mr. Marraccini about how I felt, he got angry and lost control of his temper. He'd scream at me, and his face would turn bright red. He'd ball his hands into fists and pump them at his side while pacing around. What? I was afraid of the side of him, which I hadn't seen before. Okay, you're a fucking lunatic, but all right. Okay. Declaration 13 continued. Laura claims Mike called her mentally ill, bipolar, and said she needed to be medicated. So it's totally okay to raise your concerns to your partner if they're lashing out and then something seems like it's off. Like, hey, something isn't right here. I'm really concerned about you, and I think that you should see somebody. I think that maybe you need some help. That's not a crime. It's not even a faux pas. However, text messages show Laura spiraling in December 2016. To give this some context, according to Mike's deposition and Colin's declaration, Laura admitted in December 2016 with Mr. Owens, public figure, Mike, and Colin present, that she had fabricated her pregnancies with Mike. Mr. Scanlon, who I'm assuming is Colin, Colin was either the boyfriend or the husband of Mike's sister, I'm pretty sure. Mr. Scanlon states, Laura was complaining of depression and suicidal thoughts at the fear of her relationship with Mike ending and was very distraught. And Laura admitted that she was in fact not pregnant and there was no need for an abortion. Mike reaffirms these assertions in his deposition. This is the catalyst for the following text exchanges. In the early hours of December 9th, 2016, Laura states in a text message to Mike that she needs help. She also makes the following statements. I won't mess up again. I will get help, I promise right now. I'm pulled over and getting a drink. What? I've made my bed and there's nothing I can do to rectify this without you. So there's not even a point. Okay, this is definitely somebody spiraling. You said you would give me another change. I think she means chance. That we could go to Iceland together, and I promised to be in full treatment. Dude, like, if you have to promise somebody you'll be in full treatment to get them to, like, do stuff with you, then let them go. Honestly, just let the guy go. I promise you I will go and get help. Okay, but you're pulling over and getting a drink. It's a little counterproductive, but all right. I'm almost home to get help in order to do that and improve myself. I'm going to check myself in now. I'm on the way. I just met my family at the hospital. But I'm on a hold here now that I admitted my problem. I have messed up so much. Oh my God, I absolutely hate myself. Please. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Please, I will do anything I want to get better. I am a worthless piece of shit. There's that manipulation I was talking about. I am a worthless piece of shit, and I'm sorry you all have had to deal with me. I want to stay here until Wednesday and better myself. First of all, if you're on a hold, that's not how that works. You don't just be like, oh, I think I'll stay until Wednesday, you know, whatever. Like, that's fine. Second, if you're at the hospital and they put you on a hold for psych, they're taking your phone away. So you're not going to be texting like this. So right there is an immediate red flag that I think this is a lie. I can't prove it, but that's my opinion. I think she's lying. If you're there for psych, and at least in my state where I work now, if you're there for psych, even if you come in on a voluntary basis, they're taking your stuff because there's concern that you might like hurt yourself or somebody else, or that you're not, that you're decompensated, that you're not functioning very well. So they take your stuff so that if things get worse and you start to spiral a little bit, like you can't hurt yourself. If it's a depression thing, you're having suicidal thoughts, you're not like on your phone, like looking at things that are going to make you feel more depressed and not paying attention to your treatment and like what you should be engaging in. They take your phone. They take your stuff. When you get to the unit, you can have your clothes. But if you want to access your phone, a doctor has to order that. So you have to have a doctor's order, number one. Number two, the staff watch you while you have it. And the only reason you would have your phone is to get a phone number out so you can call from the hospital phones. Okay? So number three, the staff aren't going to allow you to text on the phone when that happens. Okay? And number four, they will watch you put the phone back in the bag and then lock it away from you so you cannot have it back. So right off the bat here, she's lying about something. Taekwondo says people can't admit themselves either through psych ER. So if they go to the ER and they say, you know, like I've been having suicidal thoughts or something like that, then if so, like say that happens at my workplace, which I worked there yesterday. I worked for 12 hours in the ER, and we had somebody come in saying like I'm feeling, you know, like really down. I'm feeling suicidal. You talk to them about why, about what's going on. Like first of all, is there an acute stressor? Or is this something that's been going on for a long time? Is this something that you deal with on a day-to-day basis? This is a baseline thing for you. You are not in an immediate crisis state that is like worse than how you normally are. So number one, they're going to ask you why, like what's leading up to this. Second, they're going to ask you, has this ever happened before? And like, what's your background? Do you have any diagnoses? Have you taken any medications? What about therapy? And then depending on what symptoms you endorse, they're going to ask you a bunch of other things. But yeah, so if you go to the ER and you say those things, and then when you're being questioned, you say something that makes the person who's doing the questioning feel like, okay, well, I have a little bit of concern that if you were to leave here right now, you might hurt yourself or you might hurt somebody. Then the doctors in the ER can put you on an involuntary hold from there. At which point you can no longer leave. You are no longer there on a voluntary basis. If you want to be a voluntary patient, don't go to an emergency room. Go to a local mental health facility, like a community place, like not attached to a hospital. If you go to the hospital, if you go to the ER in the hospital, like that's for people who are incapable of like dealing with their own issues. So like here, at least, I can only speak to where I live and where I work, right? Here, if you go to the emergency room, it's because there's no other option for you, because you're that bad off that you absolutely have to be like placed on an involuntary hold. So if you go there with voluntary like mental health complaints, you're either going to like be dismissed with a safety plan and community resources and that kind of stuff, or B, you're going to be placed on an involuntary hold by the physician. So you're not just like waltzing in there and being like, yeah, hey, I want to stay until Wednesday. That's not how it works. That's not how it happens. So, and you're definitely not texting the whole fucking time. So Denise says, as a paramedic, I have transported multiple people, and what you described is exactly what I've seen occur. Mm-hmm. Thank you for what you do, by the way. Amy Bonner says that's why they drove me instead of me driving myself. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Big Tiff Dog says, doesn't the intake process often take forever? Well, it depends. So, like on a day like yesterday, when I had like my patients were very spaced out yesterday, so I could get to them right away. But so there's like, I like to say it this way: there's two speeds in the ER. It's either it's been dead today, I have so much time that I can spend just like sitting here talking to this person, and I can like, like get everything done right away. I'm not juggling too many balls in the air. Okay. And the other speed is complete and utter chaos, where like I cannot accomplish anything because there's so much going on. By the time I get to somebody to do a routine evaluation, somebody over here is cutting themselves up with like their I don't know, plastic knife or something. So, you know what I mean? And I think I might have said this the other night, but like I had one day where it was like so crazy, and I had like 4 or 5 people that needed to be seen. I was the only person there, and this one guy got upset because he thought I wasn't tending to him fast enough, like, or getting him a bed fast enough, that he walked outside of the hallway, right outside between the patient bathrooms and my office, and then set himself on fire. So it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, they don't let you have your phone. Like, none of these people have their phones when this is going on. So Miss Danielle says, my mom said she tried to go to the ER once when she was feeling suicidal, and they just told her somewhere else to go, which was closed. I wish they provided more care to people that come in. Understandable. So I can kind of see both sides of the coin here. Like, yes, you want to believe that if you really need help for that, you go to the ER, and you want to think that they will put you somewhere where you're going to get some help. But on the other hand, if you go to an ER, that hospital attached to that ER, they may not have any beds. And if they don't have any beds, what's going to happen to you is you're going to end up sitting in that ER until they have a bed for you, and that can take days. So you might be there against your will, without your phone, unable to do anything, unable to leave, unable to see sunlight because there are no windows in there. You might be stuck there, because they're not just going to later be like, oh, yeah, never mind, you can go. If they put you on an involuntary hold, like, that's very unlikely. So people who come involuntarily, if they don't have a specific suicidal plan, if they don't have any sort of intent, like if they're saying like, yes, I'm having these thoughts, I'm feeling this way, but I don't really want to hurt myself, or like I want to be here for my kids and stuff like that, like there's like a reason to believe that it would be more beneficial for them to go to a community center. And like here, like the place that they sent your mom to, like that they shouldn't send your mom to somewhere that's closed. Here, like we, at the very least, like we give them outpatient resources, encourage them to do that. But at the very least, like they know that there are 24-hour facilities in the community that they can go to if they start to feel worse. And I give them all that information. So it's like, it's tricky because, like, yes, everyone should be able to get help, but everyone can't, because there's not enough space. There's not enough staff. There's not enough. So like, say there's a really violent patient on the psych unit and there's only 3 or 4 nurses And all of a sudden, that patient has become so violent that they require restraints. And then when they get out of that, they need a one-to-one. They've been hurting themselves. Like they have to watch them the entire time. Like they don't have the staff for it. You know what I mean? Like, so sometimes there's not even like there's empty beds on the psych unit. They just don't have the staff to operate it to where they can take more patients. So like that is an unfortunate consequence of, and I think I don't want to speak for nurses, but I don't think too many of them would disagree. Like at least psych nurses, it's an unfortunate consequence of like people who work in inpatient settings as a nurse. Like they have such a hard time like getting a break, I feel like. And then if somebody calls out like sick, like nobody's there to pick up the slack. You know what I mean? Because like these people are honestly not paid what they're worth. And like you can say, yeah, they make good money. Like, yeah, sure, they make, you know, decent money, but they're also paying off student loans. So it's really not as much money as you think. And then on top of that, like they should still be making more money. And so you're not going to be able to keep like a good nurse on a psych unit when that nurse is like overworked all the time versus like somebody might pay them like significantly more money to go do a temporary travel nursing gig. Okay. Sorry guys, I go off on tangents sometimes. All right. Where the fuck was I? I don't even remember. Okay. In these next messages, JD threatens suicide while allegedly at the health facility. Absolutely not. No, I don't believe that. Or I don't believe that she was like in a facility wanting to hurt herself. If she was that bad off and she was actually at the facility, they would have taken her phone long before that. She's lying. That's my opinion. It sucks too, because I really had wanted to be that girl, but it's too late now. I screwed it all up, and I'm just gonna go quietly. Dude, that is the most manipulative shit I have ever read. Not ever. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Like I not even kidding, just exaggerating. Like I've seen so much shit, I can't even tell you. These are just like bullet points of her texts. I just mess up. It's not even worth me trying. I just seriously need to be done. I feel like the worst person in the world for frustrating you so much, and I know you'll be better off if I'm not around. That is a huge red flag. I know you'll be better off if I'm not around. It's a huge red flag based on her behavior outside of these texts. I'm not saying that somebody who sends that kind of text, like, I'm not saying they're definitely not suicidal. I'm saying with her behavior, with her history with him, and like her saying this now, that's a manipulation. She's getting progressively more provocative with her statements to elicit a reaction. So the I'm just going to go quietly thing didn't get the reaction she wanted. So now we go to, I know you'll be better off if I'm not around. And then here she goes to flattery to try to guilt him into talking to her and like giving her what she wants. Here she appears to be complimenting him, making him feel like, oh my gosh, she's being so nice to me. I should be nicer to her, or I should give her what she wants. Like, okay. She says, Mike, you have meant everything to me. Your well-being, your happiness. I've genuinely tried and I've failed miserably. This is not the way you should be talking to someone you haven't been honestly in a serious relationship with, or like dating that long, by the way. That's nutty. I just came to the conclusion last week that I will never get being a good girlfriend right, and having a family down the line is the goal I've had for my life since I was little. Okay, so she's hoping that he will come in here and be like, no, you are a good girlfriend. I didn't say that. What are you talking about? No, you're a shitty girlfriend. You got that right. But this is a manipulation. So, all right. But I just keep screwing it up. And I've realized that maybe some people are just not meant to live long and have families. So she wants him to stop her and be like, no, stop. I want to be with you. I want to have babies. You're totally a good girlfriend. Like that. Holy shit, dude. Like, this is exhausting. Exhausting. I'm causing you and your family and my family so much pain by being around, and it's not fair to anyone here. Okay, so like I said, this is another thing where like somebody who is legitimately suicidal, like they might say stuff like that and they might actually feel it. But the context, as I always say, context is everything. You have to look at the past behavior. You have to look at when these statements are being made. You have to look at what exactly she's asking for here, what string she's trying to pull. Because if somebody really feels this way, they're not going to try and like beg people to like tell them that's not true. Like honestly, they usually feel so ashamed they don't say anything about it. So and that's obviously there are exceptions to that rule, but most of the time that's what you're going to see. They're going to be so ashamed they don't want to say anything. They don't want to express those thoughts at all. So hey Jay, what's up? How's it going? Jay says, as a nurse, I would have weeks of working 120 plus a week. Wow. Okay. And it mostly stemmed from being short-staffed. Unless you're there for the reason that makes you a good nurse, it definitely isn't for the money. Yeah. You guys like the tangents? Okay. Well, based on how this is going right now, I'm going to say that there's going to be a part 2 to this tomorrow because this post is 2 parts, right? So we'll get through this one. There's a lot more here, guys. So we'll get through this part tonight, and then I'll probably have some more tangents for you tomorrow. All right. Okay. For as much as I try, I will always screw up, even though my intentions have always been good. But I don't want you to feel hurt and upset at me all the time. And I really don't think there's anything I can do to rectify my actions. I truly took you for your words this weekend, and I feel absolutely broken. I don't want to go on continuously making mistakes and embarrassing myself, all while unintentionally hurting people on the way, and I have genuinely come to the conclusion that this world and the people in my lives would be a tremendous amount better without me in them. I'm sorry for any pain I've caused, and I promise you I will get rid of myself so there won't be more pain for you, and you can find happiness because you deserve it more than anyone I know. So notice that at no point during this suicidal rant is she talking about him abusing her. She's like talking about how amazing he is, basically. You deserve it more than anyone I know. That's not something you're going to say to somebody who abuses you. It's just not. I mean, yes, there are people who go through emotional abuse who might like not quite get it, and like they might feel that way because of the way things have been twisted for them. But in this exact scenario, there's no evidence to point to any sort of emotional abuse. So right here, there's no reason to believe she would say, you deserve happiness more than anyone I know, other than he's a really good guy and he deserves to be happy. Okay. In her declaration, as well as in the DeSasme interview, JD claims to have bought Mike a $10,000 watch at his request. Texts show Mike stating he never asked her for the watch. Mike did receive a watch, but it was found to be a knockoff purchase from Amazon. Laura never provided Mike a receipt for the watch. The number of her alleged watch broker or any documentation confirming the watch's authenticity. According to the forensic laptop analysis of text between Laura and Mike, Laura claims the watch is delayed in shipping, that her father's jewelry broker found the exact watch Mike had wanted, and a trade-in of Mike's original watch gifts, which he had yet to receive, was made, plus some extra cash. When the watch breaks, Laura refuses to give Mike the broker's phone number, but does provide an invalid Panerai serial number. Oh, that's the watch brand. Okay. By October 2017, Laura has still never provided Mike with the papers. Mike later purchased an authentic Panerai for himself. I could be saying that wrong. Panerai. Panem. Okay. For himself after his relationship with Laura. Declaration 50. In JD's declaration, she states Mike did not like her and didn't want to be with her. Text proved the contrary. Laura also claims Mike was continuing dating her for the money and connections that her father's local fame provided, but that he didn't care about her. In text from the laptop analysis, it's proven time and time again that while Mike expressed interest in doing radio, Laura is the instigator and proponent of the radio show, not Mike. It is believed Laura was impersonating the agent, texting with herself, and emailing Mike from a fake email account. Seems likely. I wonder if he knows tag. Hey, Rig Angel, what's up? How's it going? Natalia says, the two people I know who unalived themselves came as a total shock to us all. They definitely weren't hinting at it every opportunity like she does for years now. Right. And not only that, but hinting at them at very opportune moments. You know what I mean? Like, right when he's like, okay, I'm done with this. I need to leave you. Then she goes and pulls this shit, right? So, like, Okay. Declaration 16. Laura claims Mike asked her to purchase tickets to attend a Tony Robbins conference and claims she did not purchase said tickets. And claims she did purchase said tickets. Sorry. Text messages just disprove these statements. In fact, Laura texts, exciting question to ask you. That took all my energy, guys. I just spoke with my boss at the radio station on the phone, and I mentioned how much I love Tony Robbins. He said the station has 2 free tickets to his 4-day program in San Jose. Are you in? It's apparently super expensive to do it, but supposed to be life-changing. I think it might beat us going to counseling. That's the worst substitute ever. Okay. Imagine saying that to someone. Told him I would get right back to him. In October, Laura reminds Mike of the event for which she received free tickets. He asks, is that still happening? Laura continues, yes. The station got 2 passes, and I had given them your name for the second ticket. I hope you're still in. I'm stoked. I really think it would be wonderful to do together. Exactly what we need. No, it appears what you needed was counseling. But not as a couple. It's just you. They even gave me a budget for a hotel down there, because I guess Tony's stuff starts early / goes way late. Organic mentions of Tony Robbins by Mike, 0. Side note, Laura signed Mike up for a Barry's membership in late October 2016. In Declaration 18, Laura claims Mike initiated communication with her after their breakup in late November, early December. However, text messages prove Laura was the one to initiate contact with Mike. That's not shocking. Whew. All right, hang on, let's look at some of this stuff first. Yeah, guys, we're definitely having to do part 2 tomorrow because we're still on part 1. All right. Whew. Okay. I'm going to try to skim over some of this. Quick reminder that the Redditor who put this together must have worked on this for days. Like, this is crazy. Sorry, I have to look up the name again. I hump, you hump, we hump. I knew it was something with hump, and I promised I would say the name. So let's keep looking. All I can remember is hump person. So that's just what we're going to have to go with from now on, so I don't have to keep scrolling up. Okay. Oh my God. Guys, I'm trying to see if I can skim any of this, but who the... This is so crazy, man. All right, this is Mike's text. Okay. I really appreciate this long and thoughtful text. I'll try and break this down. I've been offered the GoPro gig multiple times, and it's a dead-end job. It would be cool for the time being, but it's not a smart career decision, which is why I've never done that. You're right. I have talked about San Diego, and I absolutely love it. Love it. Sorry, lug it. Wow. Love it. But it's about a 5% chance of me moving. My family and all my friends are here, and I can't imagine heading south. My dream would be to get a free place for my work in Oakland and buy a condo in San Diego and travel down whenever I want. I also understand your concern about age, but everyone has those fears. I'm 3 years older and think about it all the time. Age is a number, and we're not in the 50s anymore, where you're weird if you get married after 25. Thank you, Mike. I'm still working on it. Finally, I get the sense that I'm never going to be enough. Every day you send/say the same things, and I'm genuinely concerned if you'll ever be happy with me. Okay, I feel bad for him because like he's frustrated because she keeps, doing this over and over again, no matter what. Like he gives as much as he's comfortable giving, and she's like gonna keep punishing him with the same emotional abuse and emotional terrorism that she has been until he gives her the response that she wants. That's what's going on here. So like she'll get an inch from him when she does this kind of manipulation, and then she thinks, well, if I do it again, it'll keep working until I get to where I want to get. Douchebag. Finally, I get the sense that I'm never going to be enough. Every day you send/say the same things, and I'm genuinely concerned if you'll ever be happy with me. I've only been honest with you, and my integrity means a lot to me, but it never seems to be enough. Each day, you need to reconfirm the situation and question my intent, which is incredibly frustrating. Yep, see, every day. I told you, if I wanted to leave, I would have already done it. I've also asked you not to question my integrity, and it keeps happening. This will be my last text regarding my honesty and integrity, because it's been questioned each day we have talked/texted. Please don't do it again. With all that being said, I'm wanting to start something with you, and I'm very excited for the future. Okay. And then here it goes back to the part where she's insisting on like unprotected sex or something. He says, although it feels incredible, I feel like we are being irresponsible the way we were having send at the moment. I think he means sex. We need to practice being responsible for our future. She says, I definitely don't plan on having unprotected sex after this, but I like how it's feeling now as well. I definitely, yeah, she says the same thing again. I've been craving that. Ugh. Okay, I didn't need to know that. Ugh. I'm going to pass on the rest of this thread. All right. Blah, blah, blah. In a meeting. This is basically just like she was, I guess, battering him and he wasn't responding fast enough for her. So he's trying to explain, like, hey, I'm busy. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see what's over here. Okay. Laura says, I read back your text since last Friday. Yes, I can see where you took my insecurity as questioning your integrity. We kind of read this in the other thread, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. But, like, no. If you're questioning his integrity and honesty, that's not an insecurity. You're being an asshole and you're being manipulative. So it'd be one thing if he, like, actually did something to deserve her questioning that. But she seems to believe that he's a wonderful man. So clearly he doesn't, deserve that. This is a you problem, honey. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm so mad at what I just saw. Okay. So here in... Hold on, guys. I want to make sure I don't skip anything. Give me 1 second. Whew, that's a lot. So crazy. What the? Oh my god. I don't know if I can keep going, but I'm going to. I'm going to. I swear. I just... Hey, Bruce. I might need some help in here. Bruce, can I get some backup? It's a fucking struggle. Okay. Okay. Hold on, guys. I don't know where it jumped me. Oh, there we go. Okay. Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Here's his message where he says, I think after this is finished tomorrow, it would be best for you to go and talk with someone. Your lack of trust is very apparent, and I think it would be best to talk about our past, present, and future with someone. And I'm not saying you're crazy or anything. I just think people as experienced as them are very knowledgeable. I talk with our therapist all the time. God, that's like a really nice, empathetic message. Like, very kind, very thoughtful, very clear. He's like, you're not nuts. I just think this would really benefit you. Like, I can't believe she thinks that that would make him look bad. First of all. Second, I don't actually know if she used this in court or not. I just think we're looking at it. You know what I mean? Okay. I will, Bruce. Give me 1 second. Hear Me Out says Chicken Soup for the Soul is corrected. Now we just need to delete all prints of episodes 8 and 9, and we'll be making progress. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to invite Bruce in because I don't know if you could see it on my face or not, but she's exhausting me. So I need some help. Okay. Hear Me Out. Thank you for the vibe, by the way. Appreciate you. Oh, Miss Danielle. France, I think, gifted some membership, so that's who gave it to you. Mary Barrel says, this looks more exhausting than the sheets of text with her and Greg. Yeah, dude, listen, I've been at this for an hour, and we're not even close to done with part 1. So, like, definitely doing part 2 tomorrow. But part 1 is still going to take us a while longer. So I'm hoping Bruce will come in here and help me, and I think he will. Because I need him to help me read so that I can breathe. And also because I really have to pee. So, help. Also, Gemma says, I need a drink. I need a drink too, man. But I got work tomorrow morning early, so I'm not drinking tonight. I'm just drinking some juice. Okay. Let's take a look at this. This is what stuck out to me. I had no idea people didn't know we were together. Mike says, I don't want to be put in an awkward situation now. She says, I can't very well do that now. Mike says, nobody knows because we haven't been. She says, we had been up until 2 weeks ago, and then it restarted. Don't take it out on the girl who needs help. That's what pissed me off, guys, when I was looking at this. Don't take it out on the girl who needs help. No. No. Your depression is not an excuse for you to, like, berate other people, manipulate other people, and it's not an excuse to make them do what you want them to do. Like, just because you have a problem, just because you're upset that somebody doesn't want to be with you, doesn't mean you have any control over their life. Don't ever use as an excuse. Like, don't take it on the girl who needs help. Fuck you.
This.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce from Oregon. I am not a lawyer.
This is episode 0.
That acronym doesn't mean anything else tonight.
I actually didn't know it was an acronym.
An initialization?
Initialization?
I am not a lawyer.
Oh, sorry. Oh, God. Okay, I thought you meant episode 0. I was like, 0? Is that a... What does that mean?
I don't know. It might be the first. It might be the last. What are we doing?
Reading a wall of text. Oh, Mary says go take a bathroom break. So I'm going to take a bathroom break in a minute, but let me get started with Bruce.
Situated.
First.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Bruce
has had to deal with so much. Okay. So I was reading the Reddit post, and then we're reading the declarations that went along with them, and so now I'm reading these texts between these guys. Let me make sure. Yeah, we're both on the screen.
Holy heck! I can't read any of this.
Yeah, I'll zoom in. Don't worry about that. Can you see now?
Yeah, the gray one is easier to read. Who's that, Laura?
Laura's gray, yes.
Yeah, the blue is a little harder to read for me.
Mm-hmm.
I am colorblind. So the blue and the black may.
I would do that, but then it's like I can't even like see anything on the page.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna try to skim some of this stuff.
Ooh, I can make it really big, but then I can't see chat. But maybe that's okay. They're all troublemakers anyway.
Also true. All right. Oh gosh, I read that already. I wish I hadn't seen that again, but here we are. Okay.
I love chat. Please vote for me in Quiplash chat, please. Don't abandon me.
Right.
All right, where am I?
So here we are at the iMessage right here, where she's talking about, like, she was upset because he didn't want to be, like, people didn't know they were together, and she, and he was saying, like, we haven't been together. So she's saying, you will definitely retry being my boyfriend and give your best through Iceland if I don't do this, and we can have a date night next. I promise. I will get help and not do this if you say yes. So now it's like, basically, I will get help and not kill myself if you date me. So we're back
go to
to
Iceland.
Here. Right.
Oh, wow. Showcase Showdown Iceland trip.
And then she tried to imply at some point that he was like, like benefiting off of the lavish trips and stuff like that, and really like he wanted to use them for all this stuff. But like, dude, she's basically saying, go with me and I won't want to kill myself. That's what's going on here. I want you to legitimately give us a chance at a beautiful relationship. Jesus Christ. Imagine saying this to somebody.
Beautiful.
And now, go to Iceland.
Maybe I missed some context. Are they like confused about whether or not they're in a relationship or not with each other?
So she's saying she didn't know people didn't think they were together, and he's saying like we're not together. So she's upset by that.
So she thinks they're together and people should know.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're just friends.
Meanwhile, I guess they're like involved, but they're not like boyfriend girlfriend, which is what she wanted.
Friends with benefits.
So she's I was going over these texts, and the thing that was bothering me the most was like what she was saying about being at a facility, and like she's claiming to have gone to the hospital to get inpatient treatment, basically, and it doesn't add up because they take your phone when that happens, because immediately when someone comes to the ER for a psych problem, their phone is taken by security and it's locked away in a closet. Yeah. So that's not how that works. And she's texting like basically the whole time. So hang on, I'm trying to we're gonna skim some of this, guys, and I just can't. I can't do it all.
So where was she? Some sort of like, Napa Valley wine spa? Like what?
Don't know.
We don't know. Mysterious.
Okay. You said earlier that we could try again in a romantic relationship when I came home, not just talk after oh my God, you asshole. You said you would give me another chance and that we would go to Iceland together, and I promised to be in full treatment. Well, dude, like, why should someone have to punish themselves by going along with you to Iceland for you to get help? Like, that's terrible. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? I was on the phone with my mom and she admitted that my dad told you to say whatever was needed to get me home. Wow.
And that's true, right? That's what the dad said to Mike.
Yep. Okay. Jesus Christ. So she does this thing where she freaks out and then she's like calming down. She's like, oh, okay, it's fine. Okay, I understand. Obviously, I am sorry about all the stress, and nothing is more important to me than fixing myself for my sake and everyone's around me and finding out why this happened. I was just saying, I think we could have a long and wonderful future. What? Oh, and I could really see us going the distance because I'm committed to fixing the things that I need to work on and extremely committed to you. So like this, she's saying this, right? But like also, she was like freaking out a second ago because they're not even boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, what the fuck?
Is there like a pattern where she sort of goes,
yes,
gets real frantic, but then calms down and everything's great again?
I know what you're saying, and yes.
And is there a term for that? Like, is there a name for that? Because I understand, like, with bipolar, that happens over longer periods of time. But if, in terms of a text message conversation or things happening rapidly, is there a term for that?
I feel like there is, and it's just not coming to my head right now.
Yeah.
If I can think of it, I'll let you know. But I
don't mean a disorder, just some sort of descriptive term.
Yeah. And I can't think of it right now. I'm trying to like lability, maybe like label mood, like shifting. Let me look and make sure that I'm thinking what I'm thinking.
Because that's very interesting.
Okay. A labile mood, also known as emotional lability, so yeah, this is it, is a neurological condition that causes rapid and exaggerated changes in mood or affect. So, yeah, labile.
Interesting. Okay. We're learning, kids.
I had to double check myself there. I was like, is that right? All right. So somebody's asking about manic. BS. I'm not saying that's BS. I'm saying BS is the user. BS. So a manic episode is not going to happen in like a rapid cycles like that. Like it's not going to be like you're manic for a second and then all of a sudden you're fine, and you're manic for a second and all of a sudden you're fine. That's not really what that is. A manic episode is like somebody's going to be acting out of character. They're going to be sort of like, people think of it as like the opposite of depression, right? But it doesn't even have to be that intense. It's going to last for days. Hold on, I gotta. Anne Flynn, thank you for the 20. I don't know how you do this, Lauren. I could see how exhausting this is for you. Hugs for you. Thank you very much, Anne. Thank you for the 20. That's so nice.
Yeah, this is 61 pages.
Yeah, dude. And this is part 1. and this is the declarations. This is not even the Reddit post. So like, I'm not gonna do all this tonight. We're just gonna get through some more of it.
Yeah.
Dude, this is nutty. Okay. Beth and Shirley, Lauren, but she's doing it to manipulate. Yes, and also there's some other stuff going on here. So it's hard for me to give a 100% explanation because I refuse to like publicly be like, this is the diagnosis I think she has, right? So like I can speculate that there's some kind of personality thing going on there, but I'm just not comfortable personally saying this is what I think this is. And I definitely have my opinion. My opinion's been the same this whole time, but this seems to me like some sort of like unstable personality stuff going on. So like, yes, it's openly manipulative pretty much, but at the same time something is like wrong there to where there's like she's like emotionally dysregulated. So like there's an emotional component to this, yes, and there's also an intentional like manipulative malicious component to this. So like you can have one and the other.
Both things are happening at the same time.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is like, I'm not saying she doesn't have any sort of problems with like dysregulation or anything like that. I'm saying that it's not an excuse for her behavior. She acts this way, like, and she knows that it's wrong, even though she's, like she knows that it's wrong. She knows what she wants to get from this person. She's thinking like, okay, I guess I can sacrifice, like I can do this even though it's wrong or even though it's bad. Like I'll do this because it might get me what I want. And that's why you can see her saying, I'm sorry I freaked out earlier and stuff like that. Later on, because she knows it's wrong, but she does it anyways. So
yeah.
Jerry Mitchell, I've been told when I'm going through postictal psychosis after a cluster of seizures that I have very rapid mood behavior changes, but that only happens in my postictal state. I got you. That's interesting given the alleged epilepsy, but I don't see that that's what's going on here. Because she's not having seizures, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, Jerry, I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. I hope that it hasn't been too bad for you lately. Okay. Beth and Shermy says, one can have this emotional component and not do this. That's exactly the point. She put it very well right there. Yeah, that is exactly the point. Yep. Okay. All right. Where are we now? Okay, this is where I was getting pissed off again. I'm going to check myself in now. I'm on my way. I'm trying to go get help, and I'm terrified too because I don't know what to expect at all. Don't be scared. He says, don't be scared. I'll see you when you get out. So he's being very rational. He's being like encouraging, but without like having to overexert himself in this conversation. He did well. She says, I just met my family at the hospital, but I'm on a hold here now that I admitted my problem. And then that's where I was saying it was bullshit. I was like, if you're on a hold, they're not giving you your phone. Like you can't text like that. They said probably 24 hours. And then I can do some intensive outpatient if my psychiatrist approved it. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works at all.
That sounds fishy to you?
Yeah. So first of all, they don't guarantee you 24 hours. That's not a thing. Like, so even when patients, I know that legally a Baker Act here in Florida is going to mean 72-hour hold, and it's extremely unlikely that any patient is going to be like, we're not legally going to be capable of holding them longer than that. But I still won't tell them, oh, it'll only be 3 days. Oh, it'll only be overnight. You know what I mean? You don't do that because you don't know. Like, things can change. So, no, that
You don't say
happen.
probably.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen. If you go in there and they're thinking like, oh, you're going to be healed in 24 hours, no, that does not happen. All right, if it's bad enough for them to think that you need to be admitted, then it's more than a 24-hour problem.
And what is she claiming to go there for?
I guess like for her mental health problem, she's saying she's going to the hospital. She's trying to like check herself in, but it's not adding up here. Because the phone thing, and then B, the 24-hour thing. And then also, if my psychiatrist approved it, that's not a thing. Most of the time, the outpatient psychiatrist is not being contacted. Like, the doctors that work on these units, they don't have time for that. And also, if you're in the emergency room or the hospital, like, it's probably not business hours, for your regular outpatient psychiatrist. And even if it is, they're wall to wall with appointments throughout the day. So, like, they're not going to be taking calls from the ER all the time for their patients. It's just not happening. The most you will probably get from the outpatient is like if they get your records from your outpatient doctor, and like somebody in the office is doing that for them.
Intensive outpatient. But
that's actually a thing.
Did she claim, like, was she feeling like self-harm, or was it like a panic attack, or like what is happening here that's making her do this? Or claim to do this?
Yeah, she was saying in the earlier text, she was like, or maybe it was on the other the Reddit post, but she was saying like, oh, like everyone would be so much better off without me and that kind of stuff. And like, so she was insinuating that like basically she was going to end her life, is what she was saying. So yeah, this is the kind of stuff that she was talking about.
Okay. Oh boy.
Okay. Is this the same date here? 12/11? Hang on, let's check. Yeah, it is. So obviously they didn't take her phone, which means no.
It's very suspicious. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to say this. You and your family have been my saviors and guardian angels, and what has happened to me. Bruce, I need you to read some of this while I go to the bathroom, please. This is just too long-winded. I cannot.
Can you center it so I can see the whole page?
Yeah. Because I'm looking at this page, I was like, I'm going to
is there something below these mic text, the blue one? Is there one blue one at the bottom of the first column or more?
It's just this little bit, but
okay.
Yeah.
Is there any way to get all of it on?
If I zoom out, you won't be able to see it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Ooh.
So let's see. Yeah, no, just read what you can. I'll be right back, guys.
Let's get into this. All right. Laura says, I wanted to say this. You and your family have been my saviors and guardian angels in what has happened to me. All of you have proven to be amongst the most selfless, caring people my family has met. And my parents want to know if they could take everyone out to House of Prime Rib for the holidays so we could show our appreciation and get to know each other better. Wow. Little bribery guilt trip with the House of Prime Rib. That was not on my bingo card. Actually, I think it was. I took today to write down a lot of recurring complaints. I have heard you saw about me. What does that mean? I've heard you say about me, so I can give her them in therapy. What? I have heard you saw about me, so I can give her them in therapy. Oh boy. I want you to know I listen and I want to get better. Okay, that's good. You deserve the best girl on this earth, and I know it's me. Well, that's modest. Okay. I will be a great mother to kids one day, and you will be tremendous dad. I mean, Mike probably is tremendous dad with someone else. I see this fabulous little family filled with so much love and honesty and happiness. Oh boy. And guess what? I'm going to come out of here the greatest and plant a giant kiss in you. And from that moment, you will feel my love and appreciation for you and your struggles. There isn't going to be another person about you and your family more. My new life goal. Oh boy, overly attached girlfriend much? Oh boy, guys, this is I'm reading like half a page and I'm overwhelmed. Okay, that's where I am right now. Let's see. I love you so deeply, there aren't words for it. Well, you just did some words. I will go to the end of the earth to make your dreams become reality if you need me to. Well, the earth is an oblate spheroid, so there's really no end to it. You just keep going around and around in circles. Anyway, I will be that reliable of a partner, not being the one you have to worry about all the time. I'm going to be the great Netflix and chill girl. Oh boy. Little Netflix and chill. What is this? Hooking up in lingerie? Oh my. Oh, this is Moose After Dark, guys. We're getting into it. Oh boy. Let's see. Glacier walking, spontaneous, New Year's Eve kissing. I mean, that's not asking. I mean, everybody kisses somebody on New Year's Eve if you're in a crowd. Anyway, supportive, understanding, co-dog owner, justice for buttons, and eventually wife that you deserve. And that is my life's mission that I will paint tomorrow. Paint. She's going to paint. Guys, what's going on here? I love you more than I have ever loved any man in the world. Wow, this is... I need to see what Chad is saying. I gotta zoom out and see. Big Tiff Dog says, "What kind of teenage diary entry is this?" Wink says, "What?" Oh boy. Jerry Mitchell says, "Oh, she will be reliable, reliably sending level 100 needy texts for her own personal affirmation." Ariane Fowler says, "I'm so uncomfortable." Deb Peterson says, "This is embarrassing." Oh, Saltina says, "Affluenza is her problem." Interesting. Let me scroll up a little bit. Maybe she's a flat earther. Yeah, the ends of the earth. She's going to the ice wall in Antarctica. Sounds good. Let's see. He deserves the best girl, but he's a domestic abuser that almost killed her. 2 question marks. Yeah, doesn't add up, does it? Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. I'll have to go back and watch about the other one. What's the title? I don't know. Let's see. That would be a very expensive bill. $100 a head. Oh, at House of Prime Rib. I mean, let's do it. I mean, sometimes you got to splurge, on the holidays. Like, you got to live a little. Go to House of Prime Rib. All right, let's see. Where was I? This is very disturbing. Okay, and then Mike here comes in and he says, "That all sounds nice." Like, she writes this giant page of just dripping overly attached girlfriend. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's nice." I know it makes you feel better to look ahead, but you need to live in the present while you get help. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. You got to live in the moment. You got to have mindfulness. Maybe do a little meditation.
That's why they take your phones.
Yeah. So when they take your phone, you can meditate a little and not think about like Iceland with Mike.
Or just take your Klonopin.
Oh boy, Klonopin. Yeah.
I don't know if she's ever taken Klonopin. That's just a joke that I say in general.
Oh boy.
Because so many people come to the ER asking for Klonopin.
Oh really? Is it good stuff? I don't know.
It's an anti-anxiety medication, like a benzodiazepine. So there are things like Ativan, Klonopin, Xanax. Like, they're fast acting weed. They're not weed. They don't ask for weed. Well, they do. Never mind.
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to.
Yeah. So like, people ask for those things all the time in the ER because it's fast acting and very effective. However, it's easy to build up a tolerance for some people. And it's also like you get to a point where it's not really doing anything for you anymore. So you want more and more and more.
Yeah.
So it's kind of problematic for some people, not all, obviously. Like some people can take a low dose and be fine because they take it as needed, but some other people don't function very well after a while on it. So it's kind of an addiction, I guess.
Makes sense.
And Tuttle, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you.
Well, I was at the bottom of the first column here.
Oh, wow. You look at the bar. I'm just kidding. Thank you. Give me 1 second.
Just the first column.
This here?
Yeah. Just get better, Laura.
Please, for the love of God. She's still freaking out here. I'm not going to read word for word everything because I'm just like, oh my God. I just want to check myself out now. I fucked everything up. Not how that works.
Well, how much longer is this compared to when she said she was getting the hold? So this is 12,
this is still
11,
the same. This is the same thing.
What is this? 17:57? Is that what that is?
Okay. So and then she said she
like
was
6 p.m. And when did she?
I'm on a hold here now, and that was at 6 a.m. Right? Well, this is UTC, so I don't know what time that is. But basically, how many hours of difference between 06 and...
Oh, is that 12 hours?
06 and... wow. So here, where she's saying, I just want to check myself out now, it's been 11 hours. Here it's been 14. So yeah, they would have taken her phone. 12. They would have taken her phone away long before that point. Long before that point. So she's lying.
Mysterious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to check myself out now. I fucked everything up.
Why?
She's
now, see, this is interesting because we've now swung from the first column, which was like 10 hours ago.
Yep.
She's like the overly attached girlfriend. She's dreaming of the future, and now she's fucked everything up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like only 10 hours later.
Yeah. Please say something. Please, Mike. Hello. Like, I'm not even supposed to have a phone at all. There you go. There it is.
Well, how does she have one then?
She's not at the hospital. That's how.
This is very sketchy.
She is lying. That's my opinion, folks.
Yeah, like what? What is happening here, people?
I just can't focus on getting better or therapy or anything because I don't know what's going on with you, and I've screwed up everything. First of all, you've only been there for a hot minute, so you wouldn't have the opportunity to have therapy or anything like that before because you, obviously, if you still have your phone, you haven't even been oriented to the unit. So you're not participating in therapy or anything right now. So you're just being a bitch and manipulating him. So, my bad. Didn't mean to use the V word, but I did.
Uh-oh.
I have my phone for a bit. I just finished for the day. And I'm feeling better, but I'm extremely worried about you. That's not how that works. Again,
is it like a cigarette break? Here's your phone. Like, get your fix. Like, you got 5 minutes. What?
Here, just a little bit of crack. Just a little bit of crack.
Oh, what? Yeah.
I got to check my phone one more time. No, you didn't. No.
Sure.
No.
Now,
so this is the next day, dude. This is the next day, 24 hours later. I got to check my phone again. No, you didn't.
The first one's 12:12, 3:39, and the next one's 12:12, 6:17. So that's like less than 3 hours later.
She said she was going into the facility. So she started the hold the 11th at 6. And this is, the 12th at 6.
I'm just saying, when she says, I have my phone, I got to check my phone, this is like 2.5 hours apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very weird. Like, how's that happen? I don't know.
He's being rational. I'm sorry you feel that, but that's ridiculous. You would cause so much pain to everyone if you ended your life. You need to work on you if you want an us, which is what I've always stated. The mistakes that you're making are from unrealistic expectations and giving ultimatums, which isn't fair to anyone. Ultimatums like date me and I'll have an abortion. Jesus. We all care about you.
Date me or I'll sue you. Date me or I'll call the police on you.
Right.
Wow.
Right. We all care about you, which is why we spent so much time talking with you this entire weekend. And then she, is not really... Well, okay, so here, when he says this, and then he says Laura at 16:25, less than 10 minutes later, she's like, I'm just asking for paperwork to check out. So that's not happening. If you haven't checked out yet, if you haven't been released from the facility, you don't have your phone, much less because the staff is watching you. Yeah. If the doctor gives you an order to have your phone, it's because you need to get a phone number out of it. So like the staff is watching you. There's no way you type an entire paragraph like this. Mm-hmm. No. And also, depending on what time of day this is, you cannot just check yourself out. Contrary to popular belief, if you go in on a voluntary basis, you cannot just check yourself out without the doctor seeing you. Like, you can't just be like, well, I think I'm good now. Nurse, give me a paper. You know what I mean? Like, the doctor has to see you.
I feel like she might be at a spa getting like a massage and her nails done, pedicure, like she's like at an overnight spa hotel, hanging out
Okay.
at the 40 bar at night next to the spa, drinking wine. Like, I
This
feel
is
like that's what's
yeah.
going on here.
Dude, this is so manipulative. Like, she's saying here, like, the last thing I want you to do is force you to be with me, and she's trying to make him feel bad. So he'll be like, "You're not forcing me. I totally just want to be with you. I wouldn't be proud to be with me either, or want to like a photo with me." And this is because he didn't want to post pictures of them as a couple, because obviously they're not really a couple right now because she's out of control. Your reaction, even with the Instagram of being so upset and embarrassed with me, said enough. She's very into appearances, you can tell. Huh.
What?
I either want I genuinely just want you to be happy in the future, and I can picture you being this tremendous husband and father to a family. And this is all somebody she said that this man has like beaten the shit out of her. So that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Her claims are ridiculous. She has no credibility here. Even independently of what's happened with Clayton, she has no credibility here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we were watching some sort of court case about Mike Marraccini and Greg Gillespie and Clayton Echard didn't even exist, this would be wild.
Yeah.
This would be next level wild all on its own.
Honestly, I think I'm going to start, like, like, this all obviously came to our attention with Clayton, but, like, I think I'm going to start just, like, moving away from Clayton's case and just talking about this independently, because people need to know, like, this is crazy, and not think like, oh, the Bachelor, you know what I mean? Like, no, this is this poor, like, innocent man.
Yeah.
Like, he deserves to have his story told, and he deserves for people to know, like, what was done to him, and she deserves to be punished for it. So
yeah, and I feel like someday we'll be able to get all the Greg Gillespie information as well and his story, and that will be a whole other thing as well.
Oh yeah. Well, he's like limited in what he can say, isn't he?
Yeah, so hopefully, we'll be able to eventually hear from him someday. All that gets finished or cleared up or whatever we can do.
So putting this into context of like what David Gingras said about like, it doesn't seem like he suffered that much. Like, she took him to Iceland and Dubai. Then you see texts like this. You caused a lot of tension and even a huge fight within my family while we were at the hospital because you had to have answers to your boyfriend in Iceland questions. If you don't get why I made the decision I did, then you must think I have no compassion. I left the room of a dying man because to talk to you for hours and
wow.
Because I talked to you for hours and stressed all through the nights because I care so much about you. So like, he's saying, like, basically in multiple of these texts now above too, he's saying like she's basically forcing the Iceland thing on him. And David, her lawyer, who refuses to acknowledge that these things exist, was basically like, oh, Mike had it good. Fuck you, David.
He takes such a superficial look at everything. This is just like how he says, oh, some college girl said I got her pregnant. We took a DNA test and it was over. Why didn't Clayton just do that? His view of everything is so superficial. How many babies did you deliver? Oh, 20,000? That sounds good.
Last year, 20,000 last year.
He has no critical eye for any attention to detail, any amount of discipline in terms of looking at the facts. It's terrible. Now, was this when Mike's, was it his stepdad who was passing away or in hospice?
Yeah, it looks that way.
I feel, is it like Laura's trying to out victim him or something, or out trauma him? Is that what's happening here?
She's just going back and forth to try to get the right reaction. Like, you can, if somebody like, if you, so from, and it's hard for me to do this, but I try to think that sometimes when I'm looking at situations like this, I'm trying to be objective. I'm like, I have to think about this from the mind of somebody depraved enough to put somebody through this and like get what they want. So like, she's just thinking like, okay, if I say these things about myself that are so bad, he's going to feel bad about that, think that he made me feel that way, and then he's going to apologize, and then I can start to get to reel him in a little bit and get what I want. And then she like flips the switch and she is a little more demanding and like she's insulting his integrity and stuff like that. And then once he starts to like get fed up with that, she goes back to like, oh my gosh, I'm such a piece of shit. And then to where she needs comforting. So like, it's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Big Tiff says, I don't know why people want to give him the benefit of being intelligent enough to act this stupid on purpose. It's entirely possible that he's just dumb. I'm assuming we're still talking about David, not Bruce, right?
Well, I'm not making any claims about being a, super smart lawyer, internet lawyer.
No.
I am not a lawyer.
I anal.
That has no double entendres related to this case at all.
Oh, man.
Buttons.
Are these buttons here?
No, but that's how I saw some of these text messages.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. So, oh, wow. So here he gets it here, saying, how do you not get this? I said, if you work on yourself, we can work towards that. By going back and forth, you really don't care and are essentially saying it's all about you. So he's got her number there, man. Like, he gets it. He knows what's going on. But people who are abusive like this, like, they will keep going until they bog you down enough for you to accept it and be like, I must be in the wrong here. So,
yeah.
Damn, dude. When given an ultimatum, I made the compassionate and logical choice. For you not to see that is fucking mind-boggling to me. So this is what she's basically saying, like, this is him being mean. Like, it's not. He is literally like, if you are giving somebody an ultimatum like that and you're like saying things like the world will be better off without me and stuff like that, like, it's not mean for somebody to say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's not black and white. It's not like he's, he can't just come out and say, like, I want to be your boyfriend. I don't want to be your boyfriend. He's like, I can't be your boyfriend unless you figure some of this stuff out first.
And she goes from, so, like, look at this right here.
This is very black and white on her part.
Yeah. So here we go. I guess I stupidly believed you wanted to be with me, and that was motivation for me big time. So, like, that's her insulting him, basically saying he's a liar or whatever. And then here she goes, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, look at all these on the right column here. I want to get better. I'll do anything. I've messed up so much. Oh my God, I hate myself. I'm not making this shit up, guys. If you're just listening, geez. I'm reading it off the page. Like, she does this, like, she executes this, like, to a T. Like, so she says, I stupidly believed you. He gets mad and he sticks up for himself instead of responding how she wants. And then she breaks the fuck down because that's how to reel him back in. God. That is so crazy.
Yeah, just back and forth.
I'm a worthless piece of shit. I'm sorry you had to deal with me. Please, I want to stay here until Wednesday and better myself and be together. That's you would not have a phone.
Stay where? I thought she checked out.
No, she's still checked out. No, she's full of shit, dude. That's what
I'm
saying.
Scroll back up. She said she checked out.
She said she was going to ask for a form. Hang on.
Wait, she says, I guess I will check out. It's after the big text.
Wait, so after this one?
No, it's further down. Below the two blue ones. Keep going down.
This one?
Yeah. So she has this big
I guess I will just check out. Okay. So that's at what, 1850? And this was at 1632?
But I guess she didn't.
So she's saying here, I'm just asking for paperwork to check out. And then here, 2 hours later, she's saying, I guess I'll just check out. So supposedly the staff has just let her take reins and take over the unit. And she's just running around with her phone willy-nilly and nobody cares.
But then,
I don't think so. I think she's a liar.
Way later, if you keep going below she says she's still there, right? I want to stay here until Wednesday.
Yeah, and that was another 2 hours later.
At 20 UTC.
I don't know a single psych hospital for people with suicidal ideation that lets people run around with their phone when they're, like, in emotional distress, clear emotional distress for 4 hours. Like, that does not happen. She is lying. She was not in the hospital.
She asked for paperwork. 2 hours later, she says she'll check out. An hour later, she says, I want to stay here. Like, this is just chaos.
And she's like, have a beautiful romantic time in Iceland. God damn. Okay.
She's got this ideation for the future and doesn't even understand what's happening to her in the moment. Like, who knows where she is, what she's doing? It doesn't even matter. She's not living in the moment.
I'm skipping some of this stuff.
Awareness. Oh boy.
Because I'm gonna skip some of this stuff, guys. I will do like a pre-recorded video where I talk some more about this stuff, but it's gonna take so long that I'm just not gonna do it right now.
Dinner at House of Prime Rib.
Oh God, where?
Up there. Well, when you were gone, I read a text where Laura was like, "Oh, your family's the best. Your family and my family should all have Christmas dinner at House of Prime Rib."
God damn it.
Because I'm the best girlfriend ever.
I'm so tired. Rob says Lauren is frustratingly passionate. Bruce is somewhat reserved. Dude, that's because Lauren is surrounded by people who do this shit all the time, and it's exhausting. And also, as I told earlier, like an anecdote where I had someone like this who then, because I wasn't giving them the attention they wanted and the amount of time that they thought they deserved, even though it was super busy in the hospital, they set themselves on fire outside of my office. So, like, yeah, I get pretty passionate about this kind of stuff because it's fucking nuts, and it's got to stop. So... only because, like, it's like people think about, like, oh, that person's crazy or whatever, but they're not thinking about the receiving end of the crazy, right? Because, like, for every person like this, there's a Mike out there. And people have got to start calling this for what it is. Otherwise, too many Mikes are going to get bogged down and become lesser versions of what they could be.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Marraccini is a strong guy because he did not let that happen to him, even though he went through this for, years? So I don't know how he made it out of this and became an even better person, but he did. But most people, they're not going to be as strong as he was, and they're just going to suffer.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Rob, I didn't think you were criticizing. I just love to hear myself talk. All right.
And Mike has been through a lot since all this relationship, and he talks about that with Megan Fox in the interview. And I think that's, if you haven't heard that interview, that's good context for all of this.
Mm-hmm. Hang on, can you see the blue text, Bruce?
Uh-huh.
Can you read it?
Yeah, so we've got a message from Mike. This says, okay, this is going to be hard to respond to, but I'll give it my best shot. Your first paragraph is incorrect. It's plain and simple. I think you're very generous and always wanting to do something fun, which is why you book the trips. But you usually do it without me knowing about it or chatting with me. That's a red flag. Don't get me wrong. I really appreciate Iceland, Napa, and Dubai. But I've had talks with you previously about no more trips until we figure this out. If you remember correctly, I had to be convinced to go to Iceland after what transpired. In regards to David, I know you do not dictate what happens with him, but I think you have said things that were unnecessary and probably slowed down this process. At this point, I look at the radio not happening. Okay, so when he says David, this must be the David Katz, who is the agent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Talent agent. I'm happy it worked out for you, but I'm not going to invest any more time into you. In regards to the horrible qualities comment, I think you're missing the point of why I have trust issues. First, you lied about pregnancy, not once, but twice. Then you have these suicidal thoughts that were terrible and lasted for months. It was manic depression, and it threw me for a whirlwind. I don't think you realize the amount of stress that put on me and my family. So yes, I'm going to take my time when it comes to a decision. I'm sorry if that doesn't meet your timeline. I need to look out for myself in regards to happiness. In the third paragraph, you talk about suicide and not having control of the relationship. First, I'm glad you understand that your actions have consequences, but I don't think you truly understand, or else you would stop asking me the same question on a daily basis. When talking about control of your relationship, I don't get that statement at all because I'm unsure about you emotionally means I have all the power? ? You can pull the plug whenever you want, just like me. So neither of us has any more power than the other. I think because it's not going exactly the way you want, it means that I have more power, which is not correct. I think you need to approach this maturely and see that I was affected by it. If I don't get over it in time, then I can see where an ultimatum is given. But you ask me the same question on a daily basis, like I'm going to change my mind in 10 hours. I know you love me. I really care about you, which is why I still want to keep seeing and spending time with you. I think we connect in a lot of ways and that we have more pros than cons. I just need to take a step back and relax when it comes to pushing me towards what you want. I have always been honest with you and never steered you the wrong way, so I would appreciate you just relaxing on the interview questions on a daily basis. If we go on the trip I think it will be really fun. If we don't, I totally understand and would not hold anything against you. Wow, another trip.
Yeah. So that right there, I would appreciate you just relaxing on the interview questions on a daily basis. This is the kind of thing she's saying he was mean. I believe that is the only thing that she's using to say that he really said, you know what I mean? That she hasn't made up, that she's being like, oh my God, he was abusive. And she just ran with it from there. But that's not abusive. That's not mean. That's valid. It's totally valid. And he's putting it so nicely.
Yeah, he's really, walking on ice here, or walking on broken glass, and trying to put things in as emotionally intelligent a way as he can.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh my gosh! And so this is from her declaration in support of the restraining order. It was also during this time between July and November 2016 that I was spending a lot of money on Mr. Marraccini. In the beginning of our relationship, he would pick up the check when we went out for dinner, or we would split it. After a month or so, he stopped doing this and would allow the bill to sit on the table until I paid it. By late summer 2016, it became implied that I would pay for everything. Then, starting in or around October 2016, Mr. Marraccini wanted to go out for fancy dinners several times a week, which I paid for. In November 2016, he started calling me his sugar mama. In 2017, after he lost his job, he started asking me to pay for his rent, which I did on a couple of occasions. He also asked me to take him on multiple vacations and buy him a $10,000 watch, which I did. I felt like he was taking advantage of me, but I loved him, so I did what I could to make him happy. Huh. That doesn't really seem to add up here, does it?
I wonder if it kind of went like, hey, Mike, do you want me to buy you this watch? And he's like, sure. And she's like, oh, well, he just asked me to buy a watch.
Well, look right here where
we don't
he
know
says
how this went.
Yeah. Look right here where she's saying don't bring up the watch in front of my dad, and he's like, I'm the one who said I was uncomfortable about it.
So she was probably like, Mike, do you want this watch? And he's like, wow, that's a lot of money to spend on a watch in Dubai, and we don't even know where we are, and it could be a fake.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no, I'll totally do it if you want it. And he's like, well, that'd be fine. And she's like, he totally asked for it. Don't tell my dad.
She buys him stuff, which I believe it's now been proven to be a fake. She buys him supposedly expensive stuff, and then look at this text down here. Because I just spent a fucking fortune on a watch on a dude who gets angry about the issue of, and I think that's a heart or something, after we've been dating for 14 months. If I even bring it up, you're done. Love is important to me, Mike, and my gestures have been guided by it, including the watch purchase. I want us to work towards having such a love that we both spend time trying to come up with ways to make the other ordinary feel special. The longer it goes, the harder it is to repress my feelings. I was so up in the air on buying the watch. No. But I pulled the trigger because I love you, and I know you would love it. I'm not just going to give it to a guy who doesn't think I'm special enough to be loved. Wow. This makes me oh my God.
This is not unconditional love. This is setting up conditions. So she has a thing in her mind about when she buys the watch for him, what it's going to do for her. It's all in her mind in the future. And when he doesn't live up to her expectations, which she may not have even communicated to him, suddenly he's failed to meet her expectations, failed to meet the conditions. And so suddenly it's a very negative situation. It's below baseline. Whereas giving somebody a gift should really be zero baseline, because you just love them unconditionally. It's very disturbing.
Yeah, dude. So Karen Carson, thank you for the 5. I appreciate you. I don't understand how any judge could read these and believe he did anything abusive to this person. I don't think the judge saw all these, because these are just here, the user that posted this on Reddit, they're pasting some of the texts, just from the text message threads from the forensic expert, but then the court documents are separate. So the snippets from court documents are separate. So they're not the same thing. So I don't think these texts were included in the court documents. So that's probably why. And then we got Let me see.
Because these text message excerpts are from the forensic expert, correct?
Yes.
And that was just,
Independent of court.
right before June.
Mm-hmm.
So this was all not available during his hearings.
Yeah. Nothing like it says, I want to see the receipt for the $10,000 watch. If you can provide that, you may get me to believe one thing. So the thing is, she never gave him a receipt. Like we saw like, and it's been so much stuff has happened in this document. It's been almost 2 hours, but like earlier, like way earlier on, it was shown that like she never gave him a receipt or anything. Wouldn't give him the name of the person she got the watch from to help him get it fixed.
Oh, really? So we don't even know how much she actually paid for it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she did pay $10K for a fake watch in Dubai.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Should have gone to a legit Rolex dealer. Come on.
Yeah. C-dubs. This could be easy to prove in court. Subpoena the medical records from that day. So I'm assuming they're talking about the hospitalization, the alleged inpatient hospitalization, which I do not believe ever happened. So the thing is, I don't think that was relevant to the restraining order case. So it was probably never brought up. Because I don't think that he was really thinking like, I need to prove that she faked being in the hospital. You know what I mean? Like, I think that he was just trying to show, probably, in my opinion, this is my speculation, I haven't read all these documents in full yet. He was probably just trying to show, like, hey, I didn't abuse her the way she said. I didn't say what she thinks I said. Or, like, she offered these things. Like, he's probably focused on that, right? They're not focused on she faked being in the hospital. So that's probably why that didn't come up. And, like, you can't just subpoena medical records outside of a court case. So that's why we'll probably never know, unfortunately.
Yeah. Also, he's not a medical expert. He's not going to know.
Right.
And
not only that,
if he has speculation, what's he going to do with it? He's got to be able to prove it.
You could be like the smartest person in the world, but if you're getting overwhelmed by this shit on a daily basis, you're going to miss some stuff.
Yeah.
And some stuff, you're going to question yourself on some stuff. Like, it's not like he was stupid and didn't realize it. It's like, it's easy for us to realize it now because we know her game and because we're seeing it all at once. Not over time, not over the years that he was with her, but like we're seeing it all at once. And it's obviously fucking nuts. So like, he's, he did the best he could.
And, we're crowdsourcing information. So, we're taking these documents and 1,000 people are looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the one expert or two experts will find the thing you need to find out of those 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty wild.
All right, let's see this. Okay. Laura, I said if you bring up the same fight daily, then it pushes me away. I understand you want me to say it and shout it from the rooftops, but that's not the type of guy I am, especially with everything that's happened lately. I've been depressed, dealing with my mom, Wayne's death, my sister being in rehab, and me starting a new job. There's a lot on my plate right now, and I would appreciate you taking a step back and chilling the fuck out. Again, guys, like, that's direct, not abusive. People might think like some people might think like, oh my God, he used a bad word, so he's obviously angry, and like no, like that's not. First of all, like I use swear words all the time, and it doesn't mean I'm angry. And second, like that's just direct. It's just honest. It's not angry. It's not abusive.
Well, he's dealing with a lot, and if he's getting grilled every day, you're gonna get. It's like you're backed into a corner.
Yeah. Every day you're on me for the same shit. Like I forgot that you brought it up the previous day. I understand what you want and have understood it the other 100+ times you brought it up. You were the one that told me about your deadline, not me. So please stop throwing that in my face as well. Oh my goodness. I care about you a ton, obviously want to be with you, but part of me is beyond tired of your nagging. I don't want to keep dealing with the same questions from you on a daily basis, on top of the other ridiculous shit you say to me. I told you that silence is okay sometimes and we don't need to always be talking. And lastly, I didn't ask you to buy this watch for me. If you did buy it, then I will pay you back because that is not fair to you. I was showing it to my sister because she wants to contribute to it. Please send your receipt and I will give you money.
Oh, wow.
But he never got that receipt, did he?
So this directly contradicts her testimony or deposition. Wow. Yeah.
And down here it says, my dad's broker actually found the exact watch he wanted, never worn, in new condition, and let me trade in the used one I got you. So somebody let you trade in a used watch for a brand new condition one for what?
Wait, swap it out?
That's what she's saying. So she got to trade in a used one for a new one?
Oh, it's probably a different model. What is this? Panerai.
It says the exact watch. Oh, I see. So the old one was probably not the exact model. Is that what we're saying?
He probably had some watch in mind, and she got him a gift, and it wasn't the one he wanted.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me.
Wild times. Well, especially if she's buying trips and doesn't even tell him about it or ask him about it first. I got us tickets to Iceland. Like, maybe ask if he wants to go to Iceland first. I don't know.
Right?
Come on.
Okay. The Reddit post is like, okay, who did this Reddit post? I don't want to say their name, but their username, which I promised I would say in full, is I hump, you hump, we hump. And they did so much work on this. Like, this must have taken days, and this is so thorough and it's so well done. And like she put all this out here. I'm assuming it's a she. I don't know why I'm assuming he or she put it all the way out here, like all these notes and stuff, like from every exact point in here. And it's so crazy. And this is just part one. Like, oh my God, I can't imagine how much time this took. They must have taken so much of their free time to do this. Like, oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, when you can crowdsource, you know, not just information, but effort. You know, some people are on a vacation or they have some free time or something's going on in their life. They can spend some time on this.
Oh, look!
There you go.
Look at this. I do have a question about the watch, though. How could a broker come across a brand new one for the same price? And then she goes, "It's not the same price. I had to pay a little more."
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Traded in and paid money on top. I don't get how that doesn't make sense. Yeah. I mean, oh boy.
Okay, this is all about the watch, and I've seen enough about the watch to do this.
I don't know. Watchgate. What year was this? 2017? Watchgate 2017?
Yeah, right?
Oh, man.
Okay. Declaration of Laura Owens, number 15. I really wanted our relationship to work, but I felt like Mr. Marraccini did not like me and didn't want to be with me. Then leave, bitch. When I would ask him if he wanted to break up, he said that he did not and would tell me he really cared about me and thought we could work through our issues. This happened multiple times throughout our relationship. I felt like he wanted to continue dating me for the money and connections to my father's local fame provided, but he didn't care about me. Did we read that already? That sounds familiar now.
Yeah, number one, if you think someone doesn't want to be with you, break up with them. Number two, did she ever, in these text messages, have we ever seen her ask, do you want to break up? I don't know.
Well, I see here where she says, we're not together? Like, what? And then
we're together. No.
You said, she said, you said we were together, but you weren't saying boyfriend. He says, that is correct. We have been having the talks bi-weekly for over a month now. We are still very early in our relationship, and you pushing isn't helping. I'm not asking you to back off on loving me. I'm asking you to stop pressuring me to be on your same level. This poor guy, like, he dealt with so much.
How far into the relationship is this?
I couldn't have been that far, dude. Couldn't have been that far.
Oh my gosh, because he says they're early in their relationship, but in those other text messages, maybe those were 2017.
Hold on.
Yeah, because they were mentioning multiple trips.
So she's this thing here in the Reddit post. I'm just looking at. You can't see it on the screen, but it says June 16 was 3 months after they met. So June 2016, sorry. And here we're at
we're in July.
Okay. Okay. She says, now I don't feel supportive. No, I don't.
We've been having talks bi-weekly for over a month. So what is this? They're a month in?
Yeah, I guess. Well, no, that was 3 months after they met. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if they started dating right away. I think they did because they met off a dating site. So they've been together like 3 months or something.
So
at this point, 4 months maybe.
We're 1 to 4 months into the relationship here.
Right. I think the
Oh, boy.
pregnancy has added a lot of stress that puts a strain on our relationship. Yeah. Fake pregnancies have a way of doing that. What is he?
Wow. Fake pregnancy.
I've tried calling you multiple times, and this is Mike saying this, and it doesn't go through. Or, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So I'll try to address this over text. I don't get annoyed when you say, I love you. I get annoyed when you say, I'm here for you if you need to talk and want to make you the happiest person on earth. It was very kind the first time, and even second and third time you said it, but you say it every day and simply don't understand what makes me happy. I want to not be pressured. I want a week where we aren't dealing with pregnancy. I want a week where everyone is healthy, and most importantly, I want a week where I can be me. For the last 8 weeks.
2 months. Yeah.
Oh, God. There has been a ton of stress and pressure on us, which we shouldn't have this early in a relationship. And everybody
So they met and started dating, and maybe that was like a month, and suddenly she's fake pregnant. So we've got 2 months of dealing with crazy fake pregnancies and all this jazz.
It's at least as long as the normal period was, you know what I mean? At least.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Everyone is different the way they express themselves, and you and I are obviously different. I wait for the right time to say and do certain things, but it's not like I don't think about it. I care about you obviously a lot more than you can see, but every time I start opening up, you're on me about something random. I'm not pointing my finger and telling you this is your fault, because that would be idiotic on my part. But I'm asking you to just relax and let us play out like a normal couple. I can't believe he put up with this. You know what I mean? He's a saint. We've already read that one.
Wow.
I don't want to be forced to move in somewhere because of finances. I want to make sure we are both ready. I really care about you, and I'm contemplating the move. I think, were they talking about moving in together, maybe?
Oh, she wants him to move in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so this is about the watch again. I'm going to skip that because, dude, like, we all know that was fake.
I feel like she's the kind of person he won't have any space in the bathroom drawers for deodorant or anything.
Yeah. All right. Okay. This is a repeat page. Okay. This is talking about David Katz, who she allegedly faked, him and was trying to do a radio show or a podcast show or something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This is a probably fake text. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so because I think that the whole situation with David was fake and manipulative, I am going to go ahead and skip that. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. This is like an email David sent to him, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip that, like I said. Okay.
All the best.
We're on page 18 of 61.
Did you see the all the best?
Yeah, I did. It just goes over my head at this point, to be honest. So.
Well, he was sus because he's like, this guy's never talked to me. And then he gets an all the best email.
Amy Bonner
Very
says, Bruce,
suspicious.
Bruce, Dave is rubbing off on you. You just said, and all this jazz. That's what Amy says.
When I'm feeling nice, I let Dave rub off on me.
Ew. How's your cock, by the way?
He's recuperating.
If you guys didn't know, Bruce had a cock in his yard yesterday.
He's a good rooster. He's had a rough couple of days. We'll get him straightened out.
Okay, good. You're not going to eat him.
He's a little tilted right now.
You're not going to
Everybody keeps telling me not to let him near my chickens. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, keep your cock away from chickens, man.
Oh boy.
You're not going to eat your cock, are you?
No.
I could keep going, but I'm not going to.
Oh boy. Where are we? What's going on?
Sorry, I was looking at my phone real quick. Okay. We're skipping the radio stuff, so we're still on that, I guess. Hold on. Yep, more radio stuff. Kind of grateful for that because I can skip it. All right, number 16 in her declaration says, oh, this is about the Tony Robbins conference. We read that in the Reddit post. So allegedly he was asking her to pay for this and like take him, and then it seems like
who's Tony Robbins?
Some dude. I don't know.
I thought it was a novelist.
Tony Robbins.
Am I wrong? Am I thinking of someone else?
Hold on.
Guys, we gotta do a deep dive on Tony Robbins.
Okay, unleash the power within personal coaching. So what is this, like a life coach?
Oh no, is he one of these, like he goes to the stadium and does self-help or whatever?
I think it looks like it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like one of these sort of like fiction novelists where it's kind of romancy or mystery or who am I thinking of?
I don't know, dude. Okay,
I thought all the kinky sex came from those novels. How does it come from a self-help guy?
I don't know. I'm going to his website right now and trying to find.
I'm really confused now. I need some help, guys.
Date with Destiny is Tony Robbins' favorite event. Blah 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 blah. This doesn't say anything about Tony himself. Who the fuck is Tony? Tell me who Tony is. Like,
how can you not know who Tony Robbins is? Where have you been? I've been in the middle of Shoals, Oregon, like hiding in my house.
I'm in fucking Florida.
Since the end of 2019. I don't know anything.
We don't know anything about anything but
Tony Robbins could probably help you, Bruce. Wow. I don't know. I don't trust these self-help people, man. Like
Tony Robbins wants to help you with your cock.
Like if I have to pay someone for them to give me advice, it's not good advice.
Haven't you ever seen Shallow Hal?
Shallow Hal? No, I haven't seen that. You guys are too young. We're too young. Okay.
Jason Swabby says he's the Joel Osteen of motivational speaking. That explains why I don't know who he is. I don't.
Wait, who's Joel Osteen? Is that one of those religious mega
he's one
church
of those
people?
Like TV pastors or whatever, preachers or.
Oh,
I don't even know. Like, yeah, he's one of those people.
He's one of those mega church people. He's not the old guy with the jets. He's the other guy.
Okay, I see who Tony Robbins is now. What's the website of Tony Robbins? Here he is. Okay.
So wait, for fun, Laura Owens goes to motivational self-help mega speakers. This is what she does for fun.
He was on the movie.
She's not sitting on the beach. I thought she was sitting on the beach reading a steamy romance novel.
No, dude.
Wanting to, put the lingerie on. But no, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed tonight, guys.
Tony Robbins has a leadership academy.
We haven't even gotten there, Jason. We'll get there. Oh boy,
I've seen enough of Tony Robbins. Let's see. Okay, we're just gonna move on from Tony Robbins. Actually, we'll skim this a little bit. Hang on, let's see this. The power within thing. She says that he was like, wait, what? Okay, we're gonna read this part at least. He said the conference would help our relationship by helping me to get over the abortion. He was struggling at work and told me this conference would help give him more direction to find out what he really wanted to do, which he said would make him a better partner. During the conference, Mr. Marraccini emotionally and verbally abused me, often in front of other people. I'm sensing a theme here. For example, journaling and sharing within a group was an important part of the conference. Every time I shared with the group what I had written, Mr. Marraccini laughed at me, made fun of me, and put me down in front of everyone else. Well, were you farting the whole time like you were on the Ravgen call? Because I could just see why I was laughing then. I was in tears throughout the conference because of his beratement. I don't think
you know how you go somewhere and there's like couples and different couples and you're eating or doing whatever their crazy exercise is and everybody's joking like, oh yeah, Susan never lets me eat salad. Yeah. It's not abuse. It's just you're just hanging out with friends. Come on.
Oh man. I was in tears throughout the conference because of his beratement. Once, when I was crying, one of the people who worked for the Tony Robbins Corporation approached me and asked me if I was okay. They told me they overheard Mr. Marraccini putting me down and asked if I want to break up with him publicly on stage.
What?
I felt ashamed and said no.
Number one, I feel like this is all made up. Number two, if Mike did do all these horrible things to her, go fucking on stage and break up with him. Come on. Just do it.
Yeah, for real. Mm.
Kick his ass to the curb live on stage. Do it. That's a viral moment. Come on.
These texts are these texts are basically just proving that she got the Tony Robbins tickets from work, said they were free, and so he never asked for that at all. Mm-hmm. So she's just lying again.
Wow.
It's down here. We're still talking about Tony Robbins, and I'm just not. What the fuck is this? Hang on. I don't know if I want to read this.
Are these texts after the event?
It seems that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, best as we can until after the seminar and be our best in a team without a breakup threat. A breakup threat. Saying I'm not your boyfriend is not a breakup threat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just these messages contradict her deposition.
I promise to be your partner, and I promise not to be a stubborn, needy bitch. I'm done here. That obviously didn't work out. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. After the conference in late November, early December, Mr. Marraccini and I took a break. He told me it was unnatural for me not to be over the abortion and that he didn't want to be with someone who was depressed. I doubt that. He told me he would only be with me if I was medicated. Okay. Once again, telling someone that they need help in a loving, caring way, that's not what you're claiming right here. Like that's this lady's so fucking warped. I swear to God. Not insane, not clinically insane, just really, really fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Karen says she gets all these people to overhear.
Yeah.
But we don't ever see any of them. The only one we've got is this napkin lady.
Yeah, right?
But now she has all these other claims as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Dude, I'm so tired. Reading her text feels like a fucking full-time job. And I guarantee you I'm going to get demonetized anyways because of all the suicide talks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so much in here that's...
I just gave up. I was like, fuck it. You know what? Whatever. I'm just going to read it.
Yeah, YouTube can't sell towels to this kind of content. I mean, come on. Nobody's buying Tide Pods after listening to all this.
I am. Very cluster B to say everyone says you were wrong / bad. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
All right, hang on. That is the Reddit post. During this time, I sought treatment for the depression that Mr. Marraccini insisted I suffered from. Are you kidding me? You're over here saying your world would be better off without me. I don't want to be here anymore. And like he's insisting that you have depression. Are you fucking kidding me?
What the fuck? You're not seeking treatment because you want treatment? What the? Everything she does is so conditional. Everything she does is transactional and conditional and manipulative.
Here's a message from him that just says K. Okay. I bet that triggered.
Brutal.
I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving and that you made some great new memories with your family. Please wish them a happy turkey day from me. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week and have so much to share with you, including something that I know will really surprise you. Oh no. Boy. Let me know when you figure out what day works best with your schedule and I'll try to make it work.
Plane tickets.
Yo.
Big surprise.
Yeah, right?
We're going to Scranton.
Okay. Sure, let's Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. I think we're good here. I don't think I missed anything. Yeah, no. Okay. On December 9th, I felt suicidal and reached out to my parents for help. I was overwhelmed and felt bad about the abortion and Mr. Marraccini's hatred towards me. My parents contacted Mr. Marraccini and pleaded with him to be supportive and intervene. I did not want to talk with him and ignored his calls for several hours. My parents called the police and had them come check on me. The police took me to the ER where I was given IV fluids. Fucking everyone's giving IV fluids in the ER. Oh my God, stop. I spoke with a psychologist and was released later that night after I had calmed down and no longer felt like I was a risk to myself. Contrary to Mr. Marraccini's allegation in his declaration, I was never treated in an inpatient facility.
Wait,
a truth bomb.
What?
Wow. She told the fucking truth. Unfortunately, she's telling on herself. My psychiatrist adjusted my medications.
Read all the... You just read all the texts. Was she live action role playing? Mike, I'm a medieval blacksmith. I'm here at the forge. Do you want me to make you a sword? Clang, clang, clang. What is she doing? Just role playing this bullshit? I can't believe this.
I'm checking in now, or I got to check my phone again, or I'm just gonna ask for papers to check out. What do you mean? What do you mean, lady?
I think she was at the day spa getting a manicure, drinking cucumber water, and getting a massage.
She needs to go to the day spa and get a lobotomy. Jesus Christ.
I don't know if they offer those anymore. This kind of went out of favor after that Ken Kesey movie.
God damn it, dude. This is so stupid. Oh my God, it's almost 11:30. I've been doing it for so long. We might not get through this this thing tonight, folks.
Oh no.
We'll come back. We'll come back.
There's so much. Yeah, people ask me to go live to read all this stuff, and I'm like, are you nuts? Yeah. I'll be up all night. And here I am up all night.
We should pick up wherever we leave off tonight, because I don't think it can go much longer. But we should pick up where we leave off on your channel tomorrow or something.
Oh geez.
Or wherever. But released that night after I calmed down and no longer felt like I was a risk to myself. So like that does happen. You can go into the ER and say you're having a psych problem and then talk to somebody. And then we do have a lot of people who say like, oh, I just said something I didn't mean. And honestly, those people, they said something to get a reaction. So she's basically admitting that right now, in my opinion.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you something. We have a task. Picking out a dog for me.
Okay, so the point here is that she was supposed to be all telling her parents she's suicidal, right? Because she says December 9th, I reached out to my parents.
Yeah. Was that was the same? I think the other one was in July though, right?
Yeah, but these are December 9 texts below it.
Yeah.
So basically these texts are contradicting what she testified here. Because like, you don't feel suicidal, reach out to your parents, and then they try to contact him. When she's texting him, let's go get a dog.
Dude, look at this. Pick out a dog for me, and then like less than an hour later, she's mad. You could pick up the phone. Fuck off.
Oh boy. Okay, what is it? What type?
Oh no, we're back. We're back here. It was 12:11. Now I remember.
And will you wait?
I just met my family at the hospital. I'm going to check myself in now.
So I don't pick out one you think isn't cute. Justice for buttons.
You're right.
It's one you like. You might want to snuggle with it more than me.
Dude. So she's doing this thing where she goes, I don't want to be on the phone. I'm pulled over and getting a drink. Again, I don't even want to comment on that.
Oh, she's trying to get it to be a service dog.
You're right. And please, one more thing before I don't have my phone. So she's admitting, please, I'm not going to have my phone for a day. No, ma'am. You don't know how long you're not going to have your phone if you're telling the truth, which you're not. Let's see. I don't have my first appointment until 8, so I get to check my phone. That is not how that works. Oh my God. I will say this. I will shout this to the rooftop so many times. That is not how that works.
Oh my gosh.
God. I cannot stand this lady. I swear. I begged for my phone back after the first session. No. If you're begging for your phone back and you're acting all crazy, they're not going to give you the phone.
Is
That's
she
stupid as fuck.
is she addicted to her phone? Maybe she needs to be a coloring book kid with Dave Neal at the restaurant.
It's not just that she's addicted to the phone, it's that she's not in the hospital.
Yeah. Well, still, I mean, well, she says she begged for her phone.
My next session is at 10. I'm really worried you're not getting back. I won't get to check my phone again. Again, not how that works. You don't have multiple sessions with a psychiatrist and therapist per day in the psych ward like that. Like, you don't. It just doesn't happen that way. Like, you might have the same therapist for like a group therapy type activity, but you don't have appointments with the therapist. Like, you don't have appointments with the psychiatrist. They call you in a certain order. You see the psychiatrist once a day for like 5-10 minutes, honestly, after the first day. And like, it's just like, it's not what she's claiming it is. It's not how it works.
If you're going to this facility to get treatment and help for your issues, why is it so important to have a text conversation with some guy?
And that is like, exactly even if he's your boyfriend.
Even if he's your boyfriend, like, you tell him where you're going to be and then you're done. Like, this whole thing is just like, she is telling him where she is and what she's doing for the reaction or the response, not for the actual thing she's trying to do.
Yeah. So crazy, man. So crazy. 1 second, I'm just typing something. The thing, like, look at how many times the Reddit user did a really good job with this, because I promised I would say the name. Let me say it again. Hang on. The Reddit user, I hump, you hump, we hump, did a really good job here, because they searched the word phone and like looked at where the psych hospitalizations apparently were. And so like she goes like, I'll call you when I get my phone back. I will lose my phone soon. I got to check my phone one more time. I have my phone for a bit. Phone. So like, you don't know.
Oh man.
No, ma'am. That is not how that works. These texts between Mike and Jan, we're gonna have to get to another time, because I'm just like too exhausted for this right now. Have you read those before, Bruce? No. I'm really curious.
I've only heard Mike's story secondhand through Dave or through his interview with Megan Fox. So I don't think I've. They released the what was it? The forensic, files of all the text messages.
Did they release all of those?
Yeah, and it's huge. And
wait,
so
where?
Unless
send me that.
I don't know. Well, it's probably on the wiki page or the Padlet or something. But
dude, I'm tired.
To go through that whole thing, it's huge. So my thing was like, okay, if somebody finds something in there that's important, I'll see a clip of it or something. So I didn't read the whole thing myself.
Oh my goodness!
But it's very interesting here. If we have, we have Jan and Ron text messages up there. Okay, that's interesting.
Okay, where are we at right now? Page 25 of 61. So obviously not close. It has been almost 2.5 hours, guys. I'm gonna have to call it a night here, I think, and then we'll pick up where we left off tomorrow night. Because we are gonna read all this. It's
Start
just
with those text messages, because I'm interested to see what the parents were telling him.
We'll do that tomorrow for sure. If you, I don't know if you're free, but you can come on too.
What is tomorrow?
Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow night.
I don't know when you have wine club, so
Friday.
Gotcha. So not tomorrow. Okay. All right.
It's paella night.
Yeah.
Heyo.
All right. I've never had paella.
Oh, it's good. They make it in a giant pan out in the yard.
Oh, that sounds good.
Grill.
Andrea says it's in like 800 pages. I don't think it's 800 pages, Andrea, but it's too many pages.
I mean, she might be correct. I think it is very long.
What the fuck?
Well, because all the messages are annotated with the metadata and everything.
I thought she meant this document. I was like, I don't think it's 800 pages.
No, the laptop forensics is like 800 pages. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, hang on. Let me see if we can redirect anybody. Give me 1 second, guys. Stick around for a second, guys.
2,500 pages. That's just Jen.
Damn it! That's too many pages. That's more than 800 pages.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Who's on right now? We got.
Yeah, Karen, I agree. She's looking for a response. She's not trying to work on her own issues here.
Oh, Expert is on. Guys, I'm going to redirect you to Expert. It looks like he's doing something. So if you could, when you get to Expert's page, please let him know that Lethal Lauren 904 sent you. Type a bunch of bacon emojis in the chat. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you very much for coming. And,
tell him all about Bruce's rooster.
Bruce's cock.
He'll love that.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And like I said, please let him know that I sent you and type a bunch of bacon. Goodbye.
And rooster.